Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and most of us are lucky enough to have a second chance when we've messed up and realized the importance of needing safety glasses. And in all honesty, nothing changes your moment, your day, as fast as getting something in your eye, whether it's wood or metal or dirt or a chemical. It's just amazing how much regret you have. And if you ever need to get checked out by a doctor, the cost of even a very nice pair of safety glasses is completely insignificant. And that's why I think it's important here that I'm going to show you these Klein Tools ones. These are new, and they're more the hip blade look. Now, why that's important is it gives you much better coverage than some of the traditional ones. And I'm a big fan of these snap-ons. I wear these all the time. Nice, light, low profile, but I've been wearing these for a total of 1 day because I just got them from Klein. They sent me some of them to try out, and I really want to get this out because even if, one person jumps on the bandwagon, gets some safety glasses they like, and saves their eye, it's totally worth it. Now, these are the kind of the blade look. Honestly, I first saw something like that in the 1980s when Greg LeMond was a cyclist and Oakley had these gigantic sunglasses. And they were the rage for a while, but then we went to thinner and thinner and these little slim, almost useless things. And a lot of safety glasses actually have these adjustable hinges. And for a while, I thought that was pretty cool. Snap-on, I think these were Uvex, and I used to use a lot of Uvex stuff in skiing, but that was because you couldn't angle this just right for your face and still, have good coverage. So you'd either choose having it cover up at the top or cover at the bottom. Well, you don't have to with these guys because they actually have good coverage all the way around. Plus, they have a nice, solid, great big, nose cone right here. Whereas a lot of these, I have glued these down, I don't know how many times on these guys, because they just pop off. They're just, small. In fact, a lot of sunglasses don't even have them because they just come apart. But these feel solid, and the reason they do is because they have a military performance standard 32432A, which actually is ballistic protection, and it has to stay together under whatever impact it is. And there are all kinds of military performance standards. You can look up the 32432A, but it has to be impact resistant, which it obviously is looking at the thickness of that. Plus, it's still fairly light, but then it also has to be a strong enough frame that it's not just going to bust and then any secondary impacts, are going to just continue on, unimpeded because your glasses are broken. Nice solid feel. You don't have to adjust them because the angle is just right and they're deep enough or tall enough to give you good coverage down along your cheek and nose as well as all the way up pushing your eyebrows. So that's impressive. It's about time. These two here sell for about $50 each. They are polarized and they have that military performance standard as well as the ANSI Z87.1 Plus. This one here is just clear. This one sells for about $20. Good shop glass. And that one does not have the military performance standard, just the ANSI Z87.1, and it's not polarized, again being kind of a clear lens. Now I did try to figure out how much polarization there were. Usually you can tell by twisting too. I do see that, and you'll certainly pick it up on film coatings on windshields and car panels and headlights and things like that, where you do get some reflectance difference. But the other thing is they're good UV protection, and a lot of Chinese-made ones I kind of wonder about. So I'm quick to test things. Here's my spectrometer. I mentioned that in another video. I've got a couple of these for different things. I can't get it to do what I was trying to get it to do with that other video, which I've already forgotten about. But I was playing around with these, and I thought I'd show you a little bit easier test, and that is the UV test. So I'm just going to take these Kleins here, and what I have are UV beads. If you don't know what these are, they're just a polycarbonate type plastic with certain dyes in it, and those dyes change shape basically depending on what flavor of UV light hits it. So within a certain range of wavelengths, and they change color. Right now they're all kind of milky white. That's what they should look like. And what I'm going to do is hit it with a UV light and then see if they change color. So if I pull them away, what are they going to do? So I've got my Olight UV flashlight here, and I'll just hold this in front and then just turn it on, and paint these things. I'm going to turn it off now and see what I got. Nothing. But watch this. If I just hit it, look at how fast that changes. So that tells me that this is blocking it. Even if I get up really close, you know, so you can see. I'll move it off. Look at that. Move it on. Boom. So that tells me that this is in fact blocking ultraviolet. Why? Because I've got my ultraviolet test beads here and I've got a strong UV source. And I can try it with the clear ones here. So there it is. I'll hit it with the UV. Can you see any change? I'm not. Now I will just lift the glasses and they change right away. See that? So these are definitely blocking ultraviolet, which is the important one. That's the one that, you know, basically can cause damage to your eyesight. Infrared is also important. I didn't see an infrared standard on these. Infrared can often cause eye irritation, things like that. But anyway, I'll put a link to some of these Klein ones, but definitely, how about 2026? Gotta go see what the dogs are up to. 2026, make it your year of good eye protection. Don't cheap out. Maybe get somebody else a good pair. It's time. And with these guys, with these blades, I just love them. I mean, and I do multi-sports, you know, lots of different things. And I'm always wearing sunglasses. A lot of times I prefer glass lenses, but there are times when obviously a plastic or a non-glass lens is important. And that means anytime I'm moving on water, you know, whatever it is, I have a pair, and I often use safety glasses. And I wish the safety glasses were as good as a lot of the sunglasses. I'm a big Smith fan, if you want my sunglass preference, even though I used to be a Varney fan back when you could get them affordably. But what happened is I just realized how much damage you can cause to your eyes in either a short amount of time or a long amount of time, you know, constant exposure, especially in the sun and snow. And definitely just having something you'll wear pays for itself instantaneously. And if you ever have to have a doctor, you know, check your eyes because of something that hit them, the cost here, insignificant. So spend it now, not later. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your stories. I know there are a lot out there. People have experienced things or know people who have. And you know, if you've got that old curmudgeon next door who's working on his car, never wants to wear anything, any safety glasses, would rather buy a new tool than a pair of glasses, get him some, you know, or her, and make sure they wear them. I mean, it's just sad when something happens that was completely preventable. So, let me know your stories, and with that, Doc out.